Welcome back to the Doom Dominion, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Collector's Edition, or as Bethesda and id have called it, the Collector's Bundle. And we're going to be looking at the content, the physical goods, of course, but also we're going to be looking at the digital content that they've laid out here and what that means for the future of Doom the Dark Ages, future DLC, and what to expect in the game itself. So, to start off, they showed this collector's edition right at the end of the gameplay reveal last week, and it's very nice. It's priced at $189.99 USD, and it's shipping from the Bethesda Gear Store. So they ship, I believe, worldwide. I'm in Canada. It shipped here to Canada. It actually had free shipping, and I had some points through the Gear Store, so I was able to get even more money off. And it came to a fairly reasonable price. It was like $272 Canadian, shipped and stuff here, which I think for a collector's edition is pretty fair, especially in Canadian. I think if it were to come, like, it's not coming to all retailers and stuff. This is only going to be through the Gear Store. I believe worldwide PlayStation Direct is doing it as well through there for just the PlayStation version, of course. On the Gear Store, they have all the versions, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, which is a Steam code. And yeah, so it would have been much more expensive here in Canada had it come to like Amazon or to GameStop. I bet you would have been like $349.99 here, because they'll do the exchange and then add more, and and it usually comes to a lot more. Plus tax, plus more. So as a Canadian, this is actually a very good deal. And even in the US, like, I think that's a good deal for the price and what you get. So I think this is pretty fair. Anyways, moving on, let's look at some more things. But before we do, I will mention that there is a premium edition. So if you can't afford or don't want the physical goods, there is an edition that's more expensive than just the regular edition of the game. That includes all the extra digital goods. So let's move on and look at the physical goods to start. So you get this wonderful Doomslayer statue. It is made, designed with the new look. So it's, that look we know and love for the first two games in this trilogy. And, with these improvements, these additions, the big fur coat being the big thing, and the chain shield. So those are like the two biggest kind of, changes with the design, and that's obviously seen here. He's on a base. Now, this is 12 inches in size. So you look at the base, you can see that is obviously going to be a bit of that height. And if you want a comparison, the Modern Icons Doom Eternal Slayer statue, which is a popular one, it's worth quite a lot now. It's not, being made anymore. That one is 9.5 inches. It also has a base. So if you do have the statue, you can look at it. It's going to be the same kind of thing. On a base, in a pose. It shows like landscape and, like bones and gore and stuff, which is great. On the base where he's standing, but it will be taller than this. So it'll be 12 inches. Again, the Modern Icons is 9.5 inches. So you're looking at almost, 4 inches bigger, which is a lot. Like, you think in your head, 4 more inches, whatever, it's just a bit bigger. No, that makes it substantially larger. And the comparison to that, which is the meme, 12 inches of Venom. So there was the Venom statue for Spider-Man 2 when it released on the PlayStation 5, and that statue is 12 inches. If you have that one, there you go. That's how tall the Doomslayer statue will be in the Dark Ages Collector's Bundle. So it'll be much, much bigger. So that's great. Bigger statue, it's going to allow for much more detail. And, the Modern Icons, he just had the shotgun with the meat hook. When you're looking at this one, he's got the chain shield, he's got the shotgun, he's got a much larger base with more detail, and he's got the fur coat, which I mentioned in my first video, is faux fur, so it's not plastic. Now, I collect a lot of things, so I get like figures that try to do the fake cloth or fur and stuff just with plastic, and it's not great, but it's also, it can't be great all the time. Like, I'm thinking of like some like Jedi Knight figures, which come with robes sometimes that are like a pretty rough, and it's like, I'm just gonna take this off, it just looks stupid, but it's just, in this case it's just the cape, the fur cape. I keep calling it a fur coat. It's not a fur coat. Fur cape, and it will be faux fur, fake fur, so it'll be, fuzzy, and I think that will lend it a much better look than trying to do something fake and plasticky. So that's really, really awesome to see. So I think this statue looks fantastic. I love the new design. It's not a new design, right? They're iterating on the design of the Slayer from 2016 in Eternal, but again, I love how he looks in the Dark Ages, and I think the statue does a great job representing him, and if the quality is as good as we see, and in all honesty, the helmet from the Doom Eternal Collector's Edition was fantastic. The Revenant from the Doom 2016 statue was amazing. Detailed, tall, with the lights and stuff. And the Modern Icons one, now that wasn't with a Collector's Edition, but that Slayer statue was fantastic too, so I can only assume it will continue the quality. There's also the Doom figures from McFarlane, so I have quite a few of those. I've got the different versions of the Doomslayer and all that. They only did the one demon, which is unfortunate, but we do know from leaks that they are making more for Doom the Dark Ages, so like 100% will get the Doomslayer in the new look with the chain shield and stuff from McFarlane, like 100%. It seemed like the other leak, like the figure was another possible demon, so that would be great. So if they can do another demon, it would be great to finally see that. That was my big disappointment with the McFarlane figures, was no demons other than the one. So it was disappointing not to get any other demons. Anyways, moving on to the Steelbook with the Keycard. So the Steelbook, and now note that you will get a physical disc. If you get the PS5 version, you'll get a physical disc. And if you get the Xbox version, you'll get a physical disc. Will the whole game be on the disc and stuff? I don't know, but that's all we know so far is you'll get a physical disc. PC version, you're going to get a Steam code, obviously, because that's just how PCs work now, right? So, anyway, so with this, you get the Steelbook. It's got the wonderful Slayer logo there, and the keycard looks fantastic, looks wonderfully detailed, and we can see in the footage I'm replaying on screen here and such, they are using these, they're using, we're in a medieval setting, we're still using, the keycards. They've given them a great new look, and I'm really excited to get a replica one. I don't know if it will be full size. Like, I would think so. They're not very big. Like, you look in the footage, you can hold it in one hand very easily. So, I would think they're going to make it full size, like replica size. And I think that would be fantastic. It looks wonderfully detailed. And I can't wait to add these to my Doom collection. Now we're going to move on to the digital content. The digital content, really brings a lot of things of interest to me, and especially that dragon. I think that dragon, our cybernetic dragon, is going to play a lot more into the game than they're letting on, and I'm pretty excited. Like they've talked about, like the Batman games, and Batman was a big inspiration for the Dark Ages, and I see that like in the gameplay footage. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But the first thing is just the campaign DLC. So this confirms we're getting campaign DLC. Very excited for that. It just says one. We could get more, who knows? But at this point, we know for sure we'll get one campaign DLC for the game. And if the Ancient Gods DLCs were anything to compare it to, if they can be compared to, because obviously we don't know anything about this DLC yet, they should be, a fairly good addition to the game. I'm pretty excited. 2 days early access. So I know a lot of people hate this. At this point, for me, I just, if there's a game I like that has a collector's edition, and the collector's edition is good, I'm going to get it. Like Doom: The Dark Ages is an example. I'm going to get this. It looks fantastic. So for me, 2 days early access is like a bonus for me. And I'm getting this thing shipped to Canada, so it's like I probably won't even get the early access. So anyways, but that's just the reality of it. I know, people hate it, but I don't know how many people are actually like, yeah, I need to get this for the 2 days early access. I think it's just another thing, another value added, because like there's less and less physical things in collector's editions recently. The Stalker 2 collector's edition is probably the recent exception to that. So I think this is just like, it's just another thing that just adds value to collector's editions as they try to, they just don't offer as many physical things. Anyways, so whatever kind of feelings you have on the 2 days early access, regardless, for me it's an added bonus because I'm getting this collector's edition bundle anyways. Moving on, so there's skin packs for your dragon, for your Atlan, for the Doomslayer himself, of course, too. So I think, again, that leads on to, the Atlan and your cybernetic dragon is going to play a big, big part. Which they showcase, it is going to be a big part of it. But I think the mechanics are going to be way deeper than we think. And like I was mentioning earlier in the video, and I'm like showcasing footage here now with the dragon, with the Atlan, but especially with that dragon, you can see like the dives. It's doing the dives like you're doing in like the Batman Arkham games, and things like that. And that gameplay is just very reminiscent of it, and I'm very excited. You look at these huge open areas. And we get to see the cacodemons for the first time. So they have this like squid-like redesign here in the gameplay showcase, and so they look really, really interesting. They're not little cute huggable meatballs anymore. But anyways, yeah, like being able to shoot from it, doing the dives. They talked about how big the world is going to be in the level, so I foresee you getting around using this thing quite a bit. Really exciting set pieces using it, and much, much more. So I'm very, very excited to see how that is going to play. There's these moments where you're like just diving off of wherever, and your dragon's waiting there for you to hop on. It just looks so visceral and fun and flexible, and I really love what I see, and I really can't wait. So these additions made me look over this footage even more, and it just made me even more hyped for what we're going to be doing with these new mechanics. So I just can't wait. Moving on, the last thing we're going to look at, this is a pre-order bonus for anyone, any edition of the game. You're going to get this. So it's the Void Doom Slayer skin. So it's all, like a black silver motif. And, it looks great. And I can only expect we're going to get more and more various skins as well. We got classic Doom guy in Eternal and such, and many, many more. And then they went extreme. There's a unicorn and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure they'll get just as goofy, or maybe not, because there's no multiplayer, right? So a lot of that was for the multiplayer too, and how people would see you online and stuff. So like now you'd be the only person seeing the skins, right? So I'm not sure if they're going to go to that extreme because it's not going to be multiplayer. But I'm sure they'll still do like some goofy ones. I'm sure they will. But that also leads into, they had a lot of concept art for what like a classic Doom Guy maker design could look like, which I'm showing off here. This is concept arts. They had, I believe this is from Eternal. So it's pretty exciting, that maybe we could get that, alternate takes on, the Maker Slayer, era kind of look or whatever. Anyways, very excited for this collector's edition, collector's bundle, as it is calling it. You can get it on the Gear Store now, on Bethesda, on the Bethesda Gear Store. You can get it on PS Direct if you want the PlayStation version. And I believe Microsoft, like their version of Direct, also has it available there. But that's all it's going to. It's not coming to Amazon. It's not coming to Best Buy, GameStop, etc. It's just being sold directly from Bethesda and from the console makers, right? From Sony and Microsoft. So May 15th, it's coming. If you are just going to play it on Game Pass, you can still get like they've done this before where you can pay, I think it's like $30, right? Because you technically own the base game on Game Pass. And it's just that'll give you the digital content. So the skins, the campaign DLC when it comes out, and also the early access. So you can still do that. And then, like, if you have Game Pass already, you can just then spend the extra bit to get the early access, get the digital content and all that. So you can skip any physical media at all, because there is that premium edition that has a different box art, that has the digital content with it. But if you want to go total digital only, you can do that. Game Pass only with that early access and digital content, you can do that too. So May 15th can't come soon enough. Luckily, this channel is going to let me get my hype out in a constructive way. And yeah, thank you again for joining us here on the Doom Dominion. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. And we will see you on the next one. Peace and love, and I'm out.